안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Tuesday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon-Soo-hwa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-photography, K-travel, K-everything. Now today we're joined by my co-host Walter Lee in the studio. Hello, Walter.
Hello, Soa, and of course, hello to our viewers at home. I'm Walter Lee. I have the latest in K-Enter News, K-Entertainment News, just for you.
Walter, do you have any summer vacation plans?
Unfortunately, not too big of plans, not too far away, but even if I can't go very far, I know that there are a lot of things to do actually, just within close range.
Of course, and speaking of which, here on the Culture Wave, we're gonna have our first K-travel series for this summer. So that's coming up in a bit in the latter half of the program. But first, of course, it's time for Walter, and we're going to start off with K-entertainment news today. So Apple's Music's 10th anniversary most popular songs chart is what we're going to start off, and it won't be a surprise to some to see who made it on the list, right?
Especially obvious when we're talking about K-pop, it won't be a surprise to some. According to Apple Music's 10th anniversary's most popular songs chart released on Monday, BTS's Dynamite ranked 34th, breaking into the top 100 and making it the highest ranking K-pop track on that list. Now, Butter, which is BTS's other song, ranked 252nd, making it the second highest charting K-pop entry. The list features the 500 most streamed songs since the platform launch in 2015. Now, both Dynamite and Butter saw massive global success upon release, each reaching the top 5 on Apple's Music's top 100 global charts. Also featured were Pinkfong's children's song Baby Shark at number 351, and BLACKPINK's Rosé with Apatu from which reached about 459. Now, topping the overall chart was Ed Sheeran's Shape of You.
And now from human K-pop stars, human idols to virtual idols. Take us to the digital world.
Yeah, so we talked about this sort of yesterday kind of when we talked about movie idols, but today virtual idol group Plave has taken the top spot for streaming on Melon, South Korea's largest music platform for the first half of the year, amassing over 950 million streams from January 1st to June 18th, earning Plave the title of the most streamed artist in the first half of 2025. Now, their title track Dash from the third mini album, Astrum, The Shape of Things to Come Part 1, released in February, recorded 185 million streams, making it the most streamed song during that time. Now, since debuting on March 12, 2023, Plave have racked up more than 2.77 billion cumulative streams on Melon. Now, in other news, G-Dragon claimed the top spot for most unique listeners with around 3.12 million users tuning into his music. And interestingly enough, his boy group, Big Bang, were the most searched artist on Melon during that same period.
Well, I'm glad that we can see still the real human idols and those virtual idols coexist.
Yes, for now.
Yeah, for now. Let's hope they, I don't know if I should say let's hope not or let's hope whether they will take over or not. Well, for me personally, I hope to see both of them, more of those virtual idol groups as well as the human idols. I don't know, Walter, how is it about you?
I feel scared for the human idols. Maybe there will be a takeover of the virtual idols sometime in the future.
We'll see. Only time will tell. But lastly, let's move over to the box office here in Korea.
Yes. Now, we did talk about this a little earlier on in the year, but now we've got a new top box office record. So Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, starring, of course, Tom Cruise, has become the highest grossing film released in Korea this year, according to the film's distributor, Lotte Entertainment. Now, as of Monday morning, the movie has drawn an audience of around 3,379,000 viewers. Now, this surpasses the previous record held by the Korean film The Snitch, or Yadang in Korean. We talked about that, which had attracted roughly 3,377,000 viewers as of the same date. Now, Mission Impossible, let's call it 8, as it's the short version, drew about 423,000 moviegoers on its opening day, May 17th, and which was May 17th, sorry, and surpassed 3 million viewers by its 23rd day in theaters, which was around June 8th.
Nothing is impossible for Mission Impossible.
No,
well, thank you very much, Walter, for those K-Enter updates.
No worries.
And now we move on to our not virtual K-pop artist, but virtual anchor Ari for more culture-related news. Ari, over to you.
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. The Hungarian original musical Tesla won the grand prize at the Daegu International Musical Festival, the largest musical festival in Korea. Produced by Budapest-based private performing arts company TVG Production, the musical portrays the life of electrical engineering pioneer Nikola Tesla through an epic and visually dynamic performance. It was praised for its outstanding quality, which captivated both audiences and judges alike. This year's Daegu Musical Festival showcased 29 productions and over 100 performances, featuring acclaimed works from diverse countries including Hungary, France, China, and Japan, alongside Korean original musicals that highlighted the strength of homegrown creativity. It came to a close on Monday evening with the Grand DIMF Award ceremony held at the Daegu Opera House. The first Korea-born twin giant Panda sisters, Bao and Bao, have joyfully celebrated their second birthday at Everland, their current home. These beloved pandas are younger siblings of Bao, who captured hearts across Korea before being sent to Sichuan, China, last April. A special birthday party was held attended by zookeepers and invited guests, featuring a giant bamboo cake and a variety of enrichment gifts, including cooled rocks and bamboo toys, to help the pandas stay cool and cozy during the summer heat. Born on July 7, 2023, Bao and Bao arrived weighing just 180 grams and 140 grams respectively, but now each weighs around 70 kilograms, showing an astonishing 440-fold increase in weight. The Jeju National Museum is hosting a special exhibition titled Dreams of a Butterfly in Jeju. Special exhibition on Seokdumyeong in celebration of the 80th anniversary of Korea's liberation from Japan. The exhibition showcases over 100 items, including Seok's butterfly collections, key publications on his Jeju studies, and traditional Korean butterfly crafts. Seok, known as Dr. Butterfly, was a pioneer in Jeju studies and a multidisciplinary scholar who combined natural sciences with the humanities. To enhance engagement among children, the museum will offer educational programs and guided tours every Wednesday and Thursday from July 30th to August 14th. The exhibition runs through October 19th. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
The Sema Museum of Photography is a branch of the Seoul Museum of Art and the first and only public space in Korea specializing in photography. This museum plans to offer diverse activities to become a new center for photographic art in Korea and Asia. Cha Yun-kyung has more.
Photographer Jung Hae-chang held the first photo exhibition in Korea in 1929. Lee Hyung-nok showed the devastated land and the lives of people right after the Korean War. While Cho Hyun-do has been evaluated as a pioneer in the field of abstract photography in Korea. Their work, which highlights the history of Korean artistic photography, can be seen at the Sema Museum of Photography, the first public space in Korea specializing in photography.
As Sema Museum of Photography has collected and conducted research on the collections of 26 photographers. So far, we have displayed the work of 5 of the main photographers in the history of Korean photography.
2 special exhibitions are being held at the Sema Museum. One elaborates on the history of Korean photography over a century, and the other displays various work by 6 contemporary photographers showing the construction of the museum.
We want to ensure that all visitors can experience the influence and artistic value of photography by putting on these special exhibitions.
Located in Changdong, Dobonggu district of Seoul, the museum features exhibition halls, dark rooms, a photo library, and education rooms for programs covering all age groups. The museum plans to run special exhibitions until October. Cha Yun-kyung, Arirang News.
Starting today for a month, we want to introduce foreigners' favorite summer travel destinations in Korea. The first location is a hotpil, or hotspot in the heart of Seoul, where traditions and trends coexist. It's Gyeongbokgung Palace, one of the most popular attractions among foreign tourists who visit South Korea's capital, Seoul. Today, for our first K-travel series, we invite two young Seoul guides who know Gyeongbokgung inside out. They are Kylie Stetcher and Nabila Kamal. Welcome, Kylie, and welcome, Nabila. All right, so thank you for joining us on the program. So first of you, both of you are very interested in Korea and Korean culture, and there is a good reason for why you know Gyeongbokgung so well. So first, please introduce yourself to our viewers. Let's start with you, Kylie.
Yes, hi. My name is Kylie. I'm from Canada, and I'm currently a fourth-year student at Yeowon University. And just this past spring, I was a Gungidungi in the Royal Palace Festival at Gyeongbokgung.
And Gungidungi is a volunteer who guides foreigners and also Koreans through the palace. And last time you were here with Jessie together, but today you're partnering up with Nabila.
Yes.
So Nabila, it's the first time for you on the Culture Wave. So please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hi, my name is Nabila and I'm from Malaysia. I was a student at Chungang University, and actually I've already joined the Palace Festival last year as a Gungidungi for my first time, and this year is my second time as a Gungidungi. So we actually toured around the palace where we take a lot of beautiful photos for the visitors with the traditional props and all.
It must be such a great experience because I see so many Gungidungis who do it not just one time, but do it the next year again. So I'm very happy to have two Gungidungis here with me in the studio. Now let's talk about Gyeongbokgung Palace because that's our main focus today. So Kylie, we've got in the capital Seoul, Gyeongbokgung, Changdeokgung, Deoksugung, and Changgyeonggung and Gyeonghigung palaces. But Gyeongbokgung Palace is like the most representative one. So tell us why.
Well, first of all, Gyeongbokgung was the very first palace that was built in the Joseon Dynasty. It's also the one that's the biggest, as it was for most of the royal work that would be done during the Joseon Dynasty. So you could see kings getting crowned there. It's the place where Hangul was made as well. So it's very cool to be there. And even the architecture they specifically designed with the well-being of the Joseon Dynasty in mind.
Right, and it's also very unique because of the significance of the location, right?
Yes.
Compared to the other palaces?
Yes, like I mentioned, all of it was made with the well-being of the dynasty in mind. So it's right in the center of Hanyang, which was what Seoul used to be.
Right.
Yes. And all of the buildings are set up in a particular feng shui kind of way. So it's all very cool.
And I mean, Gyeongbokgung Palace itself, just touring around it itself is a very great experience. But I heard there are also some activities that you can do at Gyeongbokgung Palace. So Nabila, could you tell us about those experiences, those activities?
Yeah, apart from just walking around the beautiful grounds, so Gyeongbokgung offers several other cultural experiences. The most, I would say, popular and free activity is you can actually look at the royal guard changing ceremony held at the Gwanghamun Gate. So it is a colorful and dynamic performance that actually recreates the traditional changing of the royal guards. So this ceremony is actually performed twice a day, where in the morning and one in the afternoon. But aside from that, in some seasons, there is also calligraphy and traditional craft experiences. For example, one of the most popular that you can book through online sites is Gyeongbokgung Senggwabang Tour. So through this program, the visitors can taste the palace snacks such as like omijak kwapeon and also palace medicinal tea such as samgyu tea. So by experiencing this, you can actually feel as if you are traveling back in time and actually lived into the Joseon era like a king and queens.
Oh, so much to do there. And I know that one experience foreigners, foreign tourists, once they come to Korea and to Gyeongbokgung Palace, what they really enjoy is to wear the traditional Korean attire, hanbok. And I probably can imagine that both of you have worn hanbok before. So could you tell us about that experience, wearing that hanbok and walking around Gyeongbokgung Palace? Kylie, you first, please.
Yeah. So obviously it's great and very fun to be prancing around in the palace. I actually went just this last September with my mother to Gyeongbokgung, and we just went to one of the local hanbok shops, but I found that there was lots of colors and designs to choose from, a whole bunch of different sizes and stuff, so lots of choices.
So your mom was wearing the hanbok too?
Yes.
So which colors did she go for and which ones did you go for?
She went for royal blue and I went for kind of a pumpkin orange, so we could have the contrast.
See. Great match. And what about you, Nabila? How was it for you, that experience?
So I've actually worn it a few times. So, but the one that I would say most memorable for me is when I wore it with my family, where my mom and dad actually wore the king and queen costume, and we as the siblings, we wore the prince and princess like a very fancy outfit. So I would say by wearing that, that actually leaves us with a very unique, one-of-a-kind photo in the Gyeongbokgung Palace at that moment.
And speaking of photo, how do you take those photos? Do you have any recommendations? Because in Korea, we like to call it 인생샷, which means kind of a once-in-a-lifetime photo. So do you have any tips on how to take the best photos there?
Okay, that is actually a good question, because when I was in Kungidongi, I was actually part of the Kungsenshot, which is the photo team. So if I would like to pick a location inside of the Gyeongbokgung, I would say you could go for Chipgyeongdang and Hamhwadang. So around there, there's a lot of like traditional door frames and also the wooden corridors. By just walking around the area, you can actually take a very perfect photo. It is very beautiful and traditional. So by walking, while you're walking, you can actually hold your skirt with one hand and also like look over your shoulder to strike like a very natural pose, I would say. That will leave like a very, very beautiful photo.
And sounds fantastic. Kylie, do you have any tips for one of the best photos in a hanbok?
Perhaps if you were to take a video, you could do it all spinning around. You get the hanbok going on nicely. It's really pretty.
I'll put both of your tips onto my list next time I get to wear a hanbok. And I mean, also, I want to mention that if you wear a hanbok at Gyeongbokgung Palace, it's you get a free entrance into the palace, right?
Yeah.
So you would have to rent a hanbok nearby, and there are many stores right around those places. And then you would rent a hanbok and get free entrance. I mean, not everyone owns a hanbok. Do you guys own a hanbok actually?
No, unfortunately.
So every time you go, you rent a new one,
yes,
right?
That's right.
And I guess in that way you have a diversity of those. You get to choose from a variety of hanboks every time you do make a visit there. But now let's talk about something else. Kylie, what did you find foreign visitors are most attracted by about the palace, or was there anything in particular they were surprised of?
I would say one of the things that I enjoy recommending the most for people who go to Gyeongbokgung is listening to one of the tours that they hold there. They have them in multiple languages, so you can do whatever language that's you're most comfortable with. But they have a whole bunch of fun tidbits, such as what are the statues that are here, or what was this building used for. So it's very fun for us to learn all about the information.
So very informative as well for people from all around the world. Now, Nabila, could you tell us about the atmosphere depending on the season? I mean, it's currently a hot summer, and I heard that at Gyeongbokgung Palace there are also some cool spots as well, to-go spots. So tell us a bit about the different atmosphere by season.
Okay, so Gyeongbokgung is like it literally changes across the seasons. So firstly in the autumn, so the Hyangwonjeong Pavilion is actually beautiful as it's surrounded by red and golden leaves. So in the winter palace, it has like a quiet charm, especially if it snows. And also in the spring, it has a soft and romantic vibe thanks to the cherry blossoms that's blooming around the palace.
Right.
And now in the hot summer, it's quite hot, right? So I would recommend taking a shade near the Gyeonghaeru Pavilion. So not only the breeze over the pond actually cools you off, but it is actually also a great little escape for you from the heat, while you actually can enjoy the beautiful scenery. over there.
So what would be your favorite season to go to the palace?
I would say I would pick the winter season because it's like not only, even though it is cold, but also during the winter season you would wear the hanbok with like an extra layer, which actually gives like a different vibe from the other seasons. Also, the place is very nice.
And then if you have the snow falling down,
yes,
and then you wear the hanbok, and then you make a turn like Kylie mentioned
yes.
earlier, it's gonna be pretty beautiful. But now we are in summer, and you
yes,
said there are some places where you can cool off,
yes,
and I guess Gyeongbokgung Palace is great for all seasons. But Kylie, now let's talk about some of the ways to get to Gyeongbokgung Palace. Do you have any recommendations for foreigners how they should move to the location?
So I would say one of the most kind of vibey ways that you could get there is you could go by bus, because it will take you right to the front of Gwanghwamun. You can walk through Gwanghwamun then to go to Gyeongbokgung. But for kind of the hot tip of how to get to Gyeongbokgung, if you go to Gyeongbokgung Station through the subway, there's exit 5 that takes you nearly right into the palace. So it's a nice shortcut.
Right, and also, I mean, even if you have a walk to do, it's nice. The area itself is so nice.
Yes.
So walking there, if you're maybe at a different station, because there are many Anguk Station, Gwanghwamun Station, they're not that far away, and those are also all destinations for people who are traveling to Seoul. So I guess there are many different ways to get to Gyeongbokgung Palace. But what about after that trip to Gyeongbokgung Palace? What would you recommend for people to do afterwards in that area?
So I would say very near, close by to that, there is, I would say, it's a Cheongwadae 사랑채. So inside, you can actually take a look. There is a travel library where you can actually look at the history of Korea. And also there is a special exhibitions inside where you can look at the beautiful scenery of Saranche and also a royal evening banquet of the Joseon Dynasty kind of themed of exhibition. Besides that, since it's summer, to wrap up your day, I would recommend like eating samgyetang, because in Korea, in summer, you say beat the summer with a samgyetang.
Right.
So you can also get finish it up with bingsu.
Yes, 이열치열 is what we would call it here in Korea. Yes. And I actually just had samgyetang yesterday, and I would really recommend that as well. And especially because around that area, if you go to Insadong, for instance, you can have so many Korean traditional 한식집, Korean traditional food with all of the bansans, the different side dishes. Kylie, what about you? What would you recommend to our viewers when you're in that area?
Personally, I would like to recommend some of the museums that are right in the area. So things such as the Palace Museum or the Folk Museum. You can see some of the more traditional vibes and learn about them as well while you're there at Gyeongbokgung. But like you mentioned about Insadong, the hansikjip are also quite nice. But I would like to recommend going to a cafe, especially if there's some tea shops that are in the area and they're quite nice to sit and have a nice cup of tea.
Nice cup of tea, and maybe also that bingsu that Nabila mentioned before. Now, finally, do you have any plans to participate again in the Gungidungi activities? Kylie, what about you?
I definitely would like to. Like previously when I was on here, I was with Jessie, who was on the fall event of Gungidungi and then came on to the spring. So I kind of want to do the same as well and go from spring to fall and get the different vibes.
So have you guys actually met at the Royal Festival before? Have you worked together?
Actually, we were not in the same team. We were not in the same team.
Oh, I see. But maybe in the future?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you made a great team today here on the show. So now that we know a lot about Gyeongbokgung Palace, a lot of informative stuff that you mentioned, and also how to get there, what to do afterwards. Thank you very much for your time today. Kylie, thank you for your second time here on the program.
Thank you.
And Nabila, it was a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And thank you for joining us on the program. Please join us again tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Wednesday here on the Culture Wave. Thank you for watching.